just a moment. Cindy, you wanted to?
I do.
Oh, jeez.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you.
You called the meeting to order, roll call, School?
Ms. Gardner,
I'm here.
Mr. Vacancy,
Yep.
Mr. Wareham,
Yep.
Caldwell,
Here. Everyone is present from the Township Board and the Utility Board in this instance. The first item on our agenda is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting as
Yeah.
presented?
Moved.
Mr. Wareham, is there support?
Support.
Mr. Jenke? Any additions, suggested deletions at all to the agenda?
Is Bob coming?
Yep, he just
Someone
pulled,
just
pulled up.
pulled in.
he just
Okay.
pulled up.
I was trying to get you, look,
the under new business, water,
thank you,
Tamarack City water line.
Wait, come sit over here.
We'll just say that.
because I fixed what I wanted.
There's a
Okay.
water line issue?
Under-
Water line question, I didn't know how to answer it, so.
Okay, water line question under new business. Okay?
Yep.
Water line question under new business. Any additional additions? Assuming that the gentlemen who made the motion and supported are favorable of the addition?
Yes.
Hello?
And all in favor of the agenda as amended, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We have another item on our agenda is approval of the minutes from our September 8th meeting. Minutes are in your packet. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I did.
Mr. Jenke moved, is there support?
I'll support.
School supports. Assuming everyone has had a chance to look at the minutes, are there any suggested additions to the minutes, or deletions or amendments to minutes? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to approve the to approve the minutes from our September 8th meeting, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Inside your packet, item number 5, you have the financial reports. You have for Osceola Township Water, the profit and loss, budget versus actual, a balance sheet, check detail, 2 pages, and a deposit detail. Are there any questions or comments on the financial reports?
Just the one on the water system improvements, just, a note that we need to add some money in there.
Talking
803.
about item 803, we talk about amendments at the regular board meeting, setting a date for a meeting. We will ensure that we address the issue of identified expenditures exceeding budget on the profit and loss. Anything else? Any questions about the reports? Hearing none, a motion to accept the reports is in order. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Gardner, is there support?
Support.
Ms. Cool? We have a motion and support to accept the financial reports. Any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to accept the financial reports, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item 6, payment of bills. You should have the folder before you. I trust you've had a chance to peruse it. Ms. Wool, Ms. Gardner, are there anything in the bills for payment that you would like to highlight?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Do I have a motion then to accept the bills for payment and recommend their payment up to the board?
No motion.
Ms. Wool, is there support for the motion?
I'll support.
Ms. Gardner, any further discussion on the motion to accept and recommend the bill payments up to the board for approval? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Item 7, public comment. Anyone present this evening that would like to address the Osceola Water Board may do so at this time. You would have up to 3 minutes to address the board. We We would only ask that you identify yourself prior to beginning to speak. Is anyone interested in providing input or comment for the board's consideration at this time? Hearing none, please note that there is a second opportunity for public comment before the meeting concludes. Should you hear something of interest or have a question or wish to offer a comment at that time, an opportunity will be made available for you. Next item, please note the time. Thank you, Ms. Gould. Reports. Water operators report, pumpage repairs, leaks et al. Mr. Matfolk, the floor is yours.
We got the puppet thing there. Looks like, looks like we're still doing okay as far as the average goes.
A little louder, please.
Pumpage has been going all right. Last factory sample was negative. Lots of screwing around with the gas company the last few days. This dig tickets, I've had a ton of those. So, trying to keep up with those guys. Tamarack is also all right, nothing special down here. I can't think of anything else at the moment. I hadn't had a chance to even look at this stuff when I just got home a couple of minutes ago. Anybody got any questions?
Bob, there is a question under new business. We'll give you a chance to take a peek at the material you have and perhaps come up with something else. We can revisit your report again under new business. We have a question for you.
I don't think Bob was here when we added that, Mark.
Oh, not aware of it?
I don't think Bob was here when we added it to the thing, was he?
Bob, there's a water line question. I believe it's down here in Tamarack City, is it? We have the question.
Yeah. Are we jumping ahead to that now?
Is it acceptable to the board to address it now?
Yes, okay.
Please.
So I printed a map, because I don't know, what do you call this blob of land in Tamarack again?
It's a blob.
The blob, okay.
I don't know, it's just, yeah, that's the,
You know,
that's obviously the sewer ponds there.
yeah, well, anyway, we have two questions from people. One guy's looking at purchasing the end, and then one guy's looking at purchasing the other one, and they wanna know if we can run sewer and water there, down there. Do you wanna see it?
He knows where you are. Talking
So
about
down
the
in
end of the
Peninsula.
lagoon,
Is that really
not
a
the
water
lagoons,
question?
but the end of the, off of Osprey.
Why are they asking if we can do it? It's
Princess
not ours.
Point, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
so this is a sewage authority thing? Are they trying to buy this off the sewage
no,
authority? or-
these are two private individuals that wanna do something out there, and wanna know if they can run water.
It's not where
Is it
the,
sewer?
No, sewer, this is the sewer.
the sewers,
That's
yeah.
just stagnant.
The lagoons are, we're talking about right over here.
They put these in because they had to rerun Hungarian at one time, and they had to replace the water. So these were added just to do everything.
Oh, okay.
So this is a road that comes in when people walk around it, but that's just three standing water holes. That's not anything to do with the sewer.
So I don't know about you, Bob, but typically anybody that develops land has to pay for their water and sewer. We don't do it for them.
Those are all,
Right,
that's
that's
all
what I said.
platted.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like 25 lots out there, and that's up to the developer to do that. That's not
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah,
Right,
so-
right.
Develop the
So-
water line and the sewer line both.
So
Okay.
can they get water out there? Yeah, I'm sure they can, they get to pay for it though.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
I think
that was
that's
my
the question.
question, I didn't know what to
No,
tell them.
I'm not,
like, okay.
I'm not jumping on you or anything like that. I'm just saying that the unfortunate fact is that, in order to serve any of that area out there, it would just be like if you asked a natural gas company to come out there, you'd have to pay for the water.
Right, okay,
It's just like all these people along here, they all had to pay for it.
right,
So
okay.
it's no different.
But it is possible, I mean, we
Oh, yeah.
can't.
Well,
You
yeah,
can
the
go out there.
lines run right along Osprey.
Okay,
Yeah, there's no reason
Yeah.
why you can't get there, but it's,
Okay.
the cost is gonna be
In order-
that's what I figured.
enormous.
Responsibility of the purchaser and or developer.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing, correct.
Okey dokey, I will call them back.
That takes care of,
They put the cart before the horse there.
does address item C under new business then,
does.
as part of Bob's report.
Yep.
Thank you, Bob. Anything else at this time? Next item on the agenda under reports is the secretary's report is not available at this time. We'll probably have 2 reports next month.
We're gonna have a secretary next month?
No.
Good luck
It's
with
on the
this.
agenda.
Yeah.
We'll embellish a little bit during the regular board meeting.
Alright.
Mason Sewer Project Report. Mr. Sarah, the
Okay.
floor is yours.
I've been checking, Mason every Saturday, everything's running good. On September 14th, Eric Finale came up there to look at it for the blinking light there. We were there from like 10:15, 11:45, he made some adjustments, we waited for a fill up, thought we had it. And then still reading a low level, even though the level's not below the 1.0.
So is it just a bad float, or what is it?
That's what Eric was thinking, he's gonna come back up here and take a
Is it
look at it.
transducer or float in there, or is there both, eh?
Both.
There should be both.
Right, there's a transducer, and if the transducer fails, the float backup system kicks in.
So is it reading right now off the transducer, and the transducer is not
The
reading correct?
transducer says there's 1.5 feet in there, and
So
the
it's
low
like-
level is 1.0, but,
So it shouldn't be giving an alarm, yeah, okay.
right, so he went in there, changed some things, climbed down there. And I was sorta confused there, cause he lifted the float up for the low level, and I said, well, shouldn't you have said down more? He said, nope, you gotta raise it up. I said, well, when it's down, it's gonna say low level.
Yeah, if it's.
At least that's the way I'm looking at the floats. So he raised it and he changed to 1.8. And it's still flashing, so he's gonna give me a call when he comes back in the area here, and we're gonna take another look at it. But otherwise.
How far down do those pumps gotta go before something, is that low level, is the,
That'd be the top of the pump showing at 1.0.
she's cavitating after that, eh?
Right,
Yeah,
and we don't want that.
no.
And then I've been walking around, I checked,
What's the pump off at? 1.5 or 2?
he's got it up 1.5,
The low level is different though, right? Is there a low level arm and then there's?
1.0,
Yeah, okay. And the 1.0 is the one that's,
yeah, keeps
Causing the
flashing.
okay,
But he climbed right in there and adjusted the floats there, and I said,
Still
"You're
have to do
braver
it
than
again."
me, cause I would test the air before I'd climb in that
yeah,
hole.
that's technically a no-no. That's
Yeah.
definitely a confined space, for sure,
Right.
so don't you do that ever.
No, I had no plans on it.
Yeah, okay.
And then I walked around, I checked the drain field, everything's looking good up there, and I haven't seen any new tie-ins anywhere. I walked from one end to the other, checking to see if anybody's dug anything up. I don't see anything, Mark. Then up at, Houghton County there, no new permits have gone out that I know of.
We did have one customer in Mason remind us that for right-of-way easement, I'm looking at Bob for confirmation of the terminology on billing for the sewer system. They're hooked up, one of their properties is not, there's no water servicing the house.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
And, the understanding is that they provided an easement for our line, so there's no charge for the sewer usage, there's no water. Did I restate that correctly, Bob?
It's not, the sewer's not hooked up anyway,
Yeah, that's,
he wasn't gonna hook it up.
yeah, but then there's,
That was a stipulation that if he allowed that easement to go through his property, he wouldn't have to put sewer into that house. He's paying for water.
paying for water, but there's no charge for,
Is that the one that's like half ripped off? Or like there's a chunk of it ripped off and just foundation covered or something? Yeah, and he's not, nobody's living in it, it's like gutted or something, yeah.
pays for water availability. but
That
not
is
for
one
sewer.
less, client though. Okay.
Yeah, point well made.
I got a couple more questions for you if you're done, or are you done?
Well, the only other thing I had was, asking about the badge, and you had mentioned something about getting signs.
You know, we talked about.
Oh, you know what, I sent him a message
Yeah.
and he never called me back.
We'll follow up
I
on that,
will,
Jen.
I'm sorry.
Sign for his vehicle, magnetic sign.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Just so people know who I am there, cause sometimes I,
What? People don't like that when you walk
Diamond
around or
House,
stuff?
Diamond House International,
Yeah, okay.
they didn't notice them,
They did the other ones?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
they can can make a badge for me then too, or something?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
He hasn't gotten back to me, that's not like him, I'll go up there this
Alright.
this week.
then I wanted to point out, October 27th, I'm gonna be in Iron Mountain there for more sewer training. Could be a full day of classes up there, manholes repairs and that, and things to look for.
How's the restoration work, that additional restoration work that they had to do later in this year? How's that looking down at that lift station? Did they fix it up better, or?
Got a lot of weeds down there, and then with the heavy rains, getting a little bit of washout here and there.
That's the thing that I've been worried about. I'm not sure what we're gonna do about that exactly, but I guess we'll have to just keep our eye on it. The washout that I was seeing, a lot of the restoration, I don't know if it was holding or not, that was.
Alright,
Cause I know Emmett came back this year and made him come back out to get some stuff. June or something like that, and I was just wondering how that stuff, if it took or not, and how things are looking, and I you won.
Heard me.
I'm just wondering if it took, and if we're still seeing the erosion control, the erosion problems down there, which might be helped solve if the stuff takes, so.
Would it be appropriate, if I may ask, to
I should
get
stop.
Emmett a call and have him follow up with MGO?
I don't know, I almost, I wanna go take a look again, I think, almost, just to make sure. I don't wanna be fighting it every year, so. You said that there was there 7 services remaining?
that was the last count I had.
Did you,
Well,
any
minus-
update on that at all, or?
Nope, Mark had mentioned he was calling some people.
There's
We met.
there's a follow-up update, I think we're down to just 2 or 3, are we not? I didn't bring that paperwork with me, but I had an update on the hookups.
Should be 3.
I think there's 3, on it. I've got an updated list in my office.
Okay.
I'll probably be in there tomorrow morning, if not certainly Monday morning.
Can you email it to me?
Yeah, I'll get it to you.
Are they putting the services in like they're supposed to be from now, or are we getting those to go, with the sand, the bedding and all that kind of stuff?
The last 2 I've seen had the
Have
same.
been good?
Yeah,
Okay.
and, just should mention too, I just got my computer back there, somehow, something, I don't know if a grandkid locked it up or whatever, I couldn't use it, and I sent it out, it took 11 days to come back, it was lost in Kansas City, lost in transit. And it just showed up today. And I didn't realize how lost you are without having a little laptop to stay up, on everything.
I know somebody that has one that he never uses.
If we're really in trouble, I've got one in a box at the house.
Okay,
Did they put that phone line in?
pardon me?
Did
Did they put that phone line in down there yet?
Yeah, I do.
Not that I know
Jim, I think Aaron's going.
Oh.
No, so, with the services, I just wanted to remind that I still wanna see eventually, those service, a little book with the service,
how many bedrooms people or,
no, the little, service location maps, that I had, that documentation that I had given everybody.
I think you were taking pictures to confirm, and I
Yeah.
think Aaron shared a model to record exactly where they are roughly,
yeah,
a rough location for everything to find in the future.
okay, you're talking about where the cleanouts are at the
Well,
property
stuff
line.
like that, yeah, I mean, it should be on that, I guess I can go through one of those maps if we need to sit down one of these days and look, and
Okay.
go through, filling one of those out. I guess we can talk about that.
I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can meet, well, you set a date up there, I'm right at Holton House and, Heritage
Just drop
Manor, I
down.
can just walk right down and,
We can take a quick look.
yeah.
How's the mower going? Is it doing
I haven't
okay?
used it, we don't have anything up there really to cut,
It's not bad up there right now?
I don't think so, no, a lot of dead weeds. And it was so dry this year, nothing really grew.
So we got that, is that thing stored still down in the water
Yeah.
building?
He's in it.
Is that where it's gonna
He's in there.
spend the winter then, or what's gonna happen here?
Well, it may, if it's not. the
Mr.
way-
guy here with Debbie. And
I just will have to make sure, I just think we need to make sure that that's okay.
If not, we'll have to find an alternate. So.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up, it's
Yep.
October, so it's,
Well, if it's
we
staying-
stuffed it into place to help us out for a little while here and now, I don't know if that's really the right thing to become the permanent place for it, 'cause
That's too.
either that, or we can go back to what I was saying, that some of that money that we're talking about is allowed to use for water, sewer
Second to
stuff,
the last one, he didn't hook up yet.
extending or enlarging that building down there that we have to include the sewer stuff, sewer place, maybe the thing.
Yeah, and certainly a good topic for our meeting on amendments.
Okay, well,
That makes a great deal of sense.
those are my questions for this, that's all I had for now.
So you're talking about the erosion, I was sort of surprised they didn't put like that straw down there.
Yeah,
seed
I
and-
was under the impression that he told me that he got MJO to come back and redo that this early summer. And if it, I haven't rode by since the last time I was down, since I went and saw that. But if that's not fixed up and it keeps on, I mean, there was, significant erosion around several of the pipe bollards where there was, you know, to be honest, I'm not sure if it was just bad compaction or what, but there was holes by a couple of the pipe bollards you could see down in there and, you know, definitely rivulets and erosion of the sand material through the lift station area, so, they were supposed to come back and fix it. And I would've liked to think that if we're not gonna put some kind of a heavy aggregate down to hold some of that stuff in place, if we were gonna do it with grass, which doesn't seem to be holding, we may have to consider a different alternative here, I think is where that's going, cause I don't wanna have to come back in and start dragging sand up from the guy's property down below or something like that, and that's exactly what's happening. So maybe a 2 or 3 inch aggregate in the non, you know, instead of the grass or something like that to be put in there to hold some of that in place, I'm not sure. Just thinking out loud.
Yeah,
Before you two get together, can you take a peek at that to see
yeah, I was
status?
thinking I'll go down there and take some pictures.
Certainly,
Yeah,
Tom's making
you know, I
some-
saw there was a wire sticking up by the manhole there too, and then I don't know, there was some stuff that they were supposed to go down and fix, and I just don't know if it got fixed.
Question. You charging those houses that are hooked up, they should be,
Yeah, they're supposed to be getting charged now.
supposed to be
Yeah.
charging them.
I think we are.
They are.
It's just a matter, but if they're still on septics, we got an issue.
Okay, that's
We'll
all,
follow up.
that's all I had, it sounds like we got a couple of little things that we can talk about
Okay.
later on, but,
There's 2 that are still on septic, that I know of, that I've spoken to, so.
I'll pull the ordinance out, we'll see what we can do to get that taken care of. Anything else? Jim,
We'll do it for now.
Yeah.
any other questions, comments for Jim?
Just
Bob,
one
did you have
other
something
item.
you wanted to add?
Up on the top of the hill, past Peters, or the road commission is putting a culvert. I don't know where they plan on going across where that force main is, I don't know where they plan on having the water go. Over, down the hill or down somewhere, I don't know. Find out from the
you
road
can
commission.
revisit that?
Yeah, I
Mark,
was
you just see
at
what's
the
going
road
on there,
commission office today. Where's that located, Bob?
right up at the top of Mason Hill, right?
Just up above Streeter's house,
Street is
they
one on
got
the
2
left there.
flags, one on either side of the road.
Name of the street,
Go up the hill.
up Forsman Road?
Forsman Road.
Streeter's the last house on the left before you take the corner.
Got it.
Just go up there and you can see the flags on either side. That's where they're proposing the culvert.
They come a mistake for you at all on that, or
He doesn't get any mistakes. I'm the one that get them.
you get them for the water, but the sewer part of it doesn't get them? Or you just get them for the whole township?
I get them for the township.
Okay,
Did you get a mistake for that,
Yeah.
yeah, so, okay.
I'll follow up with John Sema. Thank you. Anything else? Any other questions of Jim? Thanks, Jim. Unfinished business, Elm Street repair resurfacing update. Met with John Sema this morning, to talk about status. Elm Street is almost done. Sidewalks are in, and we've been invoiced. The paving is down, there's some shoulder work and some cleanup to do. They're waiting for the weather.
So it's not quite as wide as I thought it was gonna be on the non-sidewalk side. Does anybody else think that, or is it just me?
Looks like it's only one lane.
I'm just throwing that out there right now, and I know we got a good deal on this, and we went and did what we had to do to get it done, but I'm just voicing that out there right now, that I think it's a little,
I can ask.
I'm not saying that it wasn't what they planned, it's just, maybe, maybe in the future, we need to think about that on the next, it doesn't look as, I thought they said it was gonna be as wide as the, Sixth Street, and I don't know if it feels like that, I could be wrong.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Or is it just how we're used to driving down that road?
I don't know.
I haven't driven down it, I'll have to go see.
I just drove down it today just to make sure that's the first time I did.
Yeah.
But I've looked at it a couple times going by to school, and I'm looking at the side that's on the non-sidewalk side, and I keep looking at those, and they just seem like they come out into the right of way so far, and I'm thinking, man, I don't know, and maybe the way it's supposed to be, I was anticipating it to be more of a footprint than the old pavement was, cause I thought that was not a good footprint. It was always more like a one-lane road. The old footprint is very skinny, you can barely do two cars, you know, so.
I'll ask.
That's what they gotta, that's what they have to finish up is the gravel on that side
Yeah.
you're talking
They are
about.
supposed to gravel that shoulder.
I know, but I'm talking about
But the
pavement.
width of the pavement may not be quite as wide as you had anticipated.
It doesn't seem as wide as I thought it was, and maybe it's just fine, and I didn't take a tape measure out there, I didn't do that.
It
you know,
seemed like it
so-
was gonna be really wide when they were,
Yeah, when they were cleaning it up, I was like,
Cleaning
oh,
up,
this is gonna be
wow.
nice, yeah, it's gonna
And
be
then
like
they
Sixth
paved
Street,
it,
and then
and
it's not like Sixth Street,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
so,
I
I'll
noticed
ask.
that.
I did see pretty significant puddles on there, but I'm not sure what they can do about it. I saw one that had to be 40 feet long and maybe 6 inches deep. It's a lot, I imagine they had a hard time getting that thing to flow all the way down to the catch basin that's on Sixth and Elm, corner of Sixth and Elm.
Standing water and flow have been a conversation I've had with them.
You have had that conversation. There was 2 significant puddles that I can see being big ice chunks in the winter, and I don't know, I could see it causing problems in the future.
And it could be aggravated by a second issue, if I may at this time, we'll bring it up then at the next meeting.
I know we're at a utility meeting, but it
Well,
was a part of this project, so.
There's an issue that has been raised by people on the newly paved portion of Elm about the logging truck and its impact on the road. So that was
It's
raised.
probably
this
not a
week.
class, it's probably, it's not a rated road.
No, I know.
It's undoubtedly not a light rated road, I know that guy lives there, but, they're probably not wrong.
The question was raised this morning at the meeting with John Sema.
It's
and
probably never loaded, so that's, but
Apparently, one of the calls I
does he
got
bring
was
it in loaded
It was
sometimes?
fully loaded going down.
If he's bringing it fully loaded there's times of the year he probably is not supposed to be using it,
That's what we're exploring with the road commission as we speak.
but, yeah, okay.
I wish
It's
I
a
had.
very
an answer.
interesting
I-
topic.
Yeah. Well, my
I
5
can
minute meeting
understand
turned
their
into a
complaints.
half an hour, so.
Wow, how does that happen?
I was listening for at least half of it. Moving right along, if I may, anything else on Elm Street? Secretary's position vacancy update. We've had inquiries about the position, no applications. I'll share just a moment, I've had a conversation with our current secretary and asked that she consider a couple of things. One being extending her time with us for another couple of weeks. I also talked with her about, since the position description that you have in your packet for the regular meeting for approval is broader and more inclusive of tasks than I think probably job description that was utilized when she was hired, if I may phrase it that way. I'm not sure what the document looks like, having not seen it, but this is a little more inclusive document that more precisely defines the duties behind the desk. And and I have simply asked that she take a look at it and consider, the position. So, I'm waiting to hear from her, and this is all done in a form of request,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and to,
We opened it up, we add more hours to it at all, or?
Yeah, that's just it, we kind of broadened the scope of it to be
Okay.
more inclusive, and then since we've created a new position, in essence, if we adopt that job description tonight, then in essence, it would create something that one could, apply for. So
I mean, what are you hearing when, you know, from the inquiries, is it, you know, I mean, what are we paying that position right now?
$13.50 to $16, depending on activity. That is another issue that will be addressed during our budget amendment.
I mean, to be honest, that position is, what is it, 75% water board stuff? Would you not say?
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's a very important position for the water company. Obviously, there's software there to be learned, and it is a skilled position. It's not just, I just don't feel like you can just pull anybody into that. I'm
No.
struggling with this one, you know.
No, you can't.
I asked her about it, I talked to her about it, and she was very modest, but I just don't feel like you can just yank anybody into that position and
You
have them be efficient at it.
No.
So I guess I am thinking that if we can't get interest in this, obviously this is gonna be a problem right away. Right away, it could be a problem if she does not agree to extend her time, because you're looking at water bills and who's gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? I can't see that happening, so we're gonna have a real problem real
Frankly,
fast.
nor can I, but.
Yeah, it's gonna be real
I
fast.
understand the sentiment, but yeah, we're in discussions at this moment, but people have asked.
I understand that people's, you know, people are having to pay more these days, and that's
Yeah, that's what we gotta take
that's
a
the
look
thing
on.
that's happening, you know, we're gonna have to be real, and if the rates have to go up for the water department, again, we're talking about rates again, which we're not even discussing today, are we?
No, we'll be discussing that at our amendment meeting, in the next
I
couple
mean,
of
that's what we
weeks.
gotta do.
Yeah. Everything will be on the table there. So that's the update there. Discussions are underway with our current secretary, water secretary et al. About the position.
in the event that she doesn't stay and we don't get anybody immediately, I am, because I've done this job, I'm capable of filling in for that position. However,
You need to be paid the hourly wage.
that's what I was wondering.
Oh, yeah,
Can I
absolutely.
mark my water hours if
yeah.
I do it separately?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, there's no doubt.
And I think another item we flush out
Yeah.
fully.
I
I would think
that
that would be the case for anything that you guys are doing that I would not consider in your scope if you know, that should be hourly wage based, that it should be.
Let's hang on to all this feedback for a proposed meeting in the next week or two on budgets. We're gonna have to spend, in my opinion, an evening together.
I hope that she can stick around. And talking to her today, I asked her again, this is your last day, and she said yes, so, yeah.
I have my fingers crossed. but We'll see.
I know.
Yeah, yes, so,
Yeah. Moving on to new business. Proposed dates for joint meeting with the Tamarack City Water Board. They met a week ago and came up with two dates for our consideration tonight. A week from tonight, Wednesday, October 20, or 2 weeks from tonight, Wednesday, October 27th. My recollection, I'm looking at Mr. Klein, the chairman of the TC Water Board. It would be hosted by Tamarack City and start at 6 p.m.
Yep.
Tamarack City's offering to host, and the start time would be 6 p.m.
so for me, I have a Dollar Bay Fire Department meeting, on the 20th, starting at, I have 6 in here, but anyways, so the 27th would be the only one that's open for me.
Is
And
that
it's
good for everybody
same
else?
for, yeah.
So we'll inform the Tamarack City Water Board that we have chosen the 27th.
What did you say, Krista? You had something on the 27th?
No,
Oh, okay.
20th.
We're good on, so we're good on the 27th.
Yes.
Everybody.
You said 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
And this would be currently here.
here at 6 p.m. That'll give us time to put the agenda together, get it out to people along with related materials prior to the meeting. And 4/5, Cliffs of the Tamarack City Water Board is present. And I'm assuming the date is still good, if I may ask the individuals present, still a good date?
Sure.
Or still a good date?
Yeah, that's good.
So we're good, we'll get in touch with Mr. Westfall, and see if he's available. I'm assuming he will be based on last week's conversation. Thank you. Our audit has been completed for 2021. I would suggest, since everybody I think now has their copy, that relative to Osceola Township Water, please pay close attention to the audit relative to the water system generally, Osceola system specifically. Well, I guess under the circumstances, we pay specific attention to Tamarack City as well, because part of what we discuss, like all likelihood on the 27th, will be finances at all, and where we have things in common. Water line that we added under new business, I think we've addressed that issue already, have we not? Is there anything else that we need to discuss at the water board prior to calling for public comment one more time and or adjournment? Hearing none, we'll provide one more opportunity for people present to provide public comment to the Osceola Water Board. We would ask that you identify yourself, and you would have up to 3 minutes to offer comment to the board's consideration. Hearing none, thank you very much for your attendance at the water board meeting. With no other business to come before the board, unless someone has thought of something these last few seconds, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
A motion.
Motion from Ms. Cool, is there support?
I'll support.
We have a motion and support to adjourn the meeting. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries, we stand adjourned.
Hey,
Thank you,
Mark,
everyone.
Shouldn't you say water and sewer now?
Yeah, he keeps calling it water board, and I've been
I
meaning to tell you.
apologize, actually, I should be calling it the Osceola Township
I was gonna
Utility
even point it
Board.
out.
I stand corrected, the Utility Board stands adjourned. Old habits die hard, you'll have to keep reminding me.
Well, Mark, if you guys don't mind, I got a lot to do at home. I'm putting a second roof on my garage and
You still have a little daylight.